Welcome. This is Embracing Your Essence on Lilydale Radio, and thank you so much for joining me today. And as you are joining in on Facebook, please do say hello and let me know where you're from. Tonight we are going to be doing some Q&As, so if you have questions, I might have answers. We're going to be talking about that. I'm also going to be doing some mini readings, so soul readings, aura readings, past life readings, just little ones. So we're going to do some of that. And I had a little hit today from Spirit that I also need to talk about spiritual awakening. So we're going to talk about those things tonight as well, just briefly, of course, because I know you want me to do as many readings as possible. So as you're joining in, do say hello and let me know that everything is going well on your end here. And hi, Claire. Hi, Denise. Thank you for joining me. And as you are joining in and saying hello, I'll tell you a little bit about me. I am a registered medium here at Lilydale Assembly. I'm also a certified intuitive life coach. I'm also the author of the book, Courageously You, all about who you are and how you can live your happiest, best life. Whoop, almost knocking everything over as I'm moving. You could see my desk here. You'd know what I got going on here. So that's what I do. And to connect with me, you can connect with me at ColleenVanderzijden.com or BeCourageouslyYou.com. Takes you to the same place. And LilydaleAssembly.org. You can find out about the workshops that are happening. We do have off-season workshops occurring. So if you go to LilydaleAssembly.org, you can see them. You can also go to the official Facebook page, Lilydale Assembly Incorporated, and see what's happening there. And you can see everything, literally, that's going on. We're getting really ready for the summer season. I know it's January, but we are getting ready for it. I keep hearing about some really cool workshops that are going to be coming. And as soon as I have official word, I will let you know about some of those so that you can make your plans for this summer and you can get here to Lilydale and see what's going on here. So, as I said, we are going to talk about all sorts of things tonight. So if you have questions, don't ask them yet. But if you have questions, we were going to be doing the questions like we have been doing the past few weeks. It's been so much fun. I am having a ball with that. But I do want to say hello to everybody who is joining in, and there are so many of you. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm very excited to be here tonight. Hi, Wendy and Ellen and Ray and Pamela, Andrea, Alita, and some of you. I love when you guys message me, and I get to know you a little bit better. So thanks for doing that. And Bridget and Samuel and Janice and Joan. Hi, Emily. How are you? Hi, Tammy. Oh, so nice. And Bonnie and Pam. Oh, my goodness. There's so many of you. Hi, Diane. I love it. I'm so happy you're here with me tonight. Hi, Barb. Haven't seen you in forever. So happy you're here. I know, Dawn. I love it. We love Lilydale and can't wait to meet you in person. It's so funny for me about being on this end because so many people know who I am, right? But I'll be walking down the street and somebody go, oh, hi, how are you? And I'm like, great. I don't know who you are, but great. So if you do see me, definitely tell me who you are. I'm very good about remembering names when I've seen them this much in my radio show. So it'll be so fun to meet you, Dawn. I know already, I can tell. So it's going to be awesome. So thank you so much. Hi, Dawn. Another Dawn. Hi, Arlene. I need to leave for a live platform I'm on at 8:30. I would love to ask a question. Why were Ty and I led to this property? Okay, I'm going to write it down. I got a couple things to talk about first, and I will see if I can't get you first in there. Okay, Arlene, sorry. I'm already in Spaceland for you. Property. Okay, got it. I wrote it down already. Everybody, I got paper so I don't forget who I'm talking to. So it's going to be fun tonight, as I said. Is that Linda? Hi, Linda. Nice to see you. Okay, so before we get started, I got a couple things I want to tell you about, some things I want to share, some thoughts I've had, all sorts of things. The one thing I really want to talk to you guys about is how much fun it is to read your comments after my shows. So on Wednesdays, I go through and read the comments. I don't do it after the show anymore like I used to a few months ago, last year sometime, because there's so many. Last week, we had 550 comments when the show ended, and then 750 the week before. So it took me a little bit to get through them, and you know how I always tell you, I'm going to answer your questions. I will write them down. It just took me a few days, especially because I was traveling some. But it's so much fun to read the comments. And Greg and I were talking about this the other day, the kind of people that are watching my show. And they're the same people that are signing up for our free class, Embrace the Light Within, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Because what I'm noticing here is this beautiful sense of people caring for each other. And as I was going through the comments, I see the support and the love you're giving each other. And last week, everybody wishing Lynn a happy birthday. How sweet was that? Or if somebody has some kind of a medical or health issue, and I say something to you guys like, okay, everybody, let's send healing to this person, and how you all write these beautiful, wonderful comments. And if something's happening in somebody else's lives, people are supportive and caring and saying, I'm so sorry this is happening for you. Or you start having your own little conversations in the chat here. And I love love this. This is so wonderful. And this is part of the reason why we're starting this soul empowerment community that's coming up. We want to be able to have this place for people to be there for each other, to connect with each other. We're going to be opening registration for that next week. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a sec. But we're opening the registration next week with the official start date as being February 1st. And this is one of those communities where you're going to find the people who get you. You know how that is and how much we need that. People who love you, you'll feel safe, you'll feel accepted, you'll be able to speak your truth. And it's going to be wonderful. So this is the Soul Empowerment Community. Our Embrace the Light Within free class that we are teaching starting Sunday, this Sunday, that is actually a lead-in to the Soul Empowerment Community. So this free class is going to be amazing as well. We're going to talk about the light of your soul. We're going to talk about how to get into the spiritual flow. And then within this community that we are starting, that will begin, as I said, February 1st, and the doors open next week. It is, we're going to be doing like 2 live events every month, a workshop, an enlightening experience, a Q&A, kind of like these things. We're going to have several intensives. So if you're interested in healing, we might do a 4 to 6 week intensive where you can learn more about healing. Or if you're interested in past lives, we might do a 4 to 6 week thing on that. And whatever it is. And we're going to do 2 in-person events a year, which are included in this. Now, this is a fee. There is going to be a fee for this, but it's a very affordable fee. Very, very affordable fee. Because we have expenses, of course, that are related to starting a community. And also, people value what they pay a little bit for, don't they? So we're going to be doing that. We're going to have downloadable PDFs. I'm going to do readings every now and then, and Greg is going to do a group past life regression right away in February. Going to be so much fun. So this is going to be awesome, and we are so excited to help people with their personal and spiritual transformation. So if you did the survey that we had last month, 2 months ago, whenever it was, and you signed up to be on the wait list, you're probably already getting my emails. If you're in the Embrace the Light Within, you are also getting emails. Maybe you're just on my normal list, but if you're getting emails, you will be notified as soon as the doors open. So if you're not on my list, you didn't sign up for anything, you didn't sign up for the wait list, you didn't sign up for the Embrace the Light Within class, you're just not there, and you want to know about this, just send me a message right here in Facebook with your email, and I'll add you to the wait list. This is not a commitment. You don't have to do anything. It just lets you know when we open the doors for the Soul Empowerment Community. So for this weekend's workshop, I do want to talk about that, the Embrace the Light Within. This is Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. And we are literally going to help you connect with the light of your soul. It is going to be stunning and transformative. We'll also talk about and play with ideas to get into that spiritual flow, so you know when you're in that flow. And when you get in that flow, you move into that limitless abundance, that limitless potential that we all have. So we're going to do this, and we're going to help you reconnect to that light so you can get in that flow, so you can have more meaning and purpose in your life. And as I said, the Embrace the Light Within is the kickoff program, if you will, to the Soul Empowerment Community. So they are right now registrations for 2 separate things, but they are connected. So the link for the free class, the Embrace the Light Within, is posted at the top of this feed, and I'm sure Greg will post it in the comments at some point here. And so you can register for the Embrace the Light Within class. It is going to be held through a private Facebook group. Okay, so you register for the class, you get a confirmation email, which you need to open, and then you need to request to join the Embrace the Light Within private Facebook group. Okay, so there's 2 things you have to do besides registering. Open the email, then go to the Facebook group. If you don't go to the Facebook group, you may not get to see the workshop. So you definitely want to get in there and do it. So there we are. It's going to be so much fun. I can't tell you how excited we are to do this. So send me, if you want me to add you to the wait list and all this stuff, it'll put you on my email list. Don't worry, I'm not obnoxious, but I'll be more obnoxious as we start promoting this stuff. But then I'll just go back to normal once a week. If you want, just send me a message, give me your email, and then I can put you in there. Okay, so tonight, this is what we're doing. Okay, I've done my stuff. Yes, we've been having so much fun already in that Facebook group. The party has already started there, so we are having fun. So that's the Embrace the Light Within workshop starting Sunday. Just so you know, this is free. You don't even have to pay anything. You just come and have some fun with us. It's going to be so much fun. And then we'll tell you a little bit more about Soul Empowerment Community as we get going with everything else. So today, we're going to answer your questions. We're going to talk do some mini readings. And I want to talk about, before I start your questions, and I actually have a list of questions you guys have asked that I didn't answer. And but you can ask questions in here too, but don't ask them just yet, okay? Okay. So what we're going to do is I want to talk about spiritual awakenings, because I've talked to a couple of people, one today, one another day, one last week. It's real interesting how this is coming up, about how we wake up and we recognize that there is more to life than we think there is. You know, we were brought up to believe certain things. We're so focused on, success in our lives and what's happening physically in our lives. And so many of us didn't really get much of that actual spiritual awakening feeling, where we could feel that there's something more than the physical. And so many people are experiencing this now. Part of it is the consciousness shift. Some of it is when we have an awakening, it's from unpleasant events. Something happens in our lives. Sometimes it's a loss of a person and it's a tragedy. And what happens with these tragedies is the only thing we can do is basically surrender and let go of other stuff to get back to our soul. So we lose sometimes our anchor and our grounding around us by the things that happen. And as unpleasant as they might be, they also help us kind of strip away the things in our lives that are really not that important. And I'm not saying if someone dies, they're not important. I'm saying what happens is you become focused on what is most important. And you become focused on the love you had with somebody who passed, or you become focused on the feelings within you that there is something more out there for you. So this is something like a friend request. I just saw somebody go, send me a friend request for your reading. Somebody, will you block please James Haland, Haland? He's soliciting people. All you have to do is on the side, just block him. And then he'll go away and stop bothering you. So when we have a spiritual awakening, they can come from unpleasant events. And those things tend to lead us to personal growth, lead us to something better. I had a spontaneous, if you will, spiritual awakening when I did an automatic writing experience many years ago. I write about it in my book in the first chapter there. And if you missed it, the name of my book is called Courageously You. So I write about it there. And with that awakening, I got the message to be who you are, for who you are is blessed. And that literally woke me up. And I thought, I have no idea who I am. I don't know what I want. All I knew was the way I was living was not how I wanted to keep living the rest of my life. Excuse me. I wanted more. I wanted more than that. I didn't want everything to stay the same. So that message I got led me to a path, a journey of self-discovery. So I woke up that way. So sometimes it can be spontaneous. It's sometimes triggered by something. All of a sudden, it's like the light bulb goes off. It can be triggered by unpleasant situations. I saw this post on Steve Harvey's page today. He says, sometimes you think you're in a crisis, but really you're in the middle of a miracle. Isn't that interesting? I love that. I love that when you think about it, because we think of a crisis, right? And we're pushing it away. We're resisting it. We don't want to experience it, of course, right? But what if this crisis is actually creating a miracle to lead you to your better life? And so many times it is. So in an awakening, what's happening is we're reconnecting to our true self, our soul, if you will. And we realize there's got to be something more out there. We may not know what it is or how to get there. And it can feel like a longing. I just have to know something. But when we get that feeling that there has to be more, it's wonderful because that motivates us. We start to look at our lives and change things around a little bit. The right teachers might appear. You might meet somebody who inspires you to look at your life differently or look at yourself differently. You start to explore what you really want out of life. You're willing to look at your worst parts, the parts we try to hide, your shadows, we call them. You're willing to look at those parts and go, you know what? Yeah, sometimes I can be a really nasty person, but I'm also a really loving person, and love yourself anyway. So it's amazing. As we have this awakening, we release those old perceptions, the perceptions where you're limited, where you can't be who you want to be. You can't have what you want to have. You're releasing the old belief systems. You're releasing the conditioning that told you who you should be and how you should live. It's almost like you kind of release the old version of you, that ego self we talk about sometimes, the death of the old you, so you can blossom and bloom into the truth of who you are at your soul level. With this, The reason I wanted to talk about this, besides so many people have mentioned it recently that I thought, this is a message, I should follow it, is also this is part of what we're doing in the Embrace the Light free class, to help you see your potential, help you see your light, help you recognize that, yes, you are awakening, and we can actually help you, if you want, to get there, which leads, of course, into the soul empowerment community. Same thing. So much of our spiritual awakening is connecting to that feeling we get when we're in that flow, when we feel confident, we feel like we're in that divine energy where life is just flowing. And a lot of it is also recognizing how our lives and how we've grown up, what we've been taught to believe, etc., kind of led us down the wrong path and blocked us from our truth. So in a way, it's a little bit of a, we have to look at our physical lives because we are here living a physical life. So of course we want to enjoy it. That's why we're here. But this does mean sometimes we have to look at our lives and go, okay, wait, this isn't working. This belief I have now isn't right. I'm scared about something. Why am I scared about something? And questioning it, where we move into questioning everything. Is this true for me or not? Does this feel right to me or not? We become more intentional, more conscious in how we live. We start letting go of things that just don't matter to us anymore. And I'm not necessarily saying people again or anything like that. I'm talking about letting go of beliefs that are no longer valid or beneficial, letting go of wanting things to be a certain way and recognizing we're actually guided. That's where a spiritual awakening is leading you to. This understanding, this awareness that you are guided, that you can live from your soul's perspective. And if you want that, you can have it. Isn't that interesting? If you want it. Some people say they want things, like I always use this example. Sometimes people say, I always want to be happy, but then all they do is complain and they go on and on pointing out everything that's wrong all around them. Do they really want to be happy? Or are they so attached to the complaining they can't even see that they're blocking their own happiness? We don't know, right? So there's so many things. So I did want to mention that. Okay, now I'm going to do a little scroll, and then I will do some questions and things like that, and we will go from there. Lisa's saying, shadow work is scary but amazing, only because you're almost forced to see that side of you, and that is so true. So true. Catherine asks, if I see my potential, will others? When it boils down to it, is it necessary that other people see your potential? Not really. I know we've been brought up, right, to want other people to like us, to have them see us for who we are. And what we're doing in that case is we're allowing other people to influence us. So we are allowing it to happen. It's our perceptions, etc. But really, if we are so secure in who we are at the soul level, other people's perceptions, other people's opinions shouldn't bother us as much. I won't say that it's going to be totally gone, but not as much, we are having so much fun. Okay, good. Yeah, we are having a party as much as we can tonight. Okay, so now let me give you some... Candy, are you reading my mind? We're all reading everybody's mind right now. We are all connected, everybody. It's because and I'm going to just own this one, I have an amazing audience. When I get online with you guys, I have so much fun, and your energy is just so uplifting, which feeds into my energy. And then, of course, the channeling gets going, and we just have a ball over here. So now, the guidelines here, the readings and the questions. You must be on my page, Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium and Intuitive Life Coach. You can be on Lily Dale Assembly's page, but I can't see your comments. Okay, so if you have questions, you want a reading, you got to get over here to this page. Same thing if you're in the Spiritual Growth and Support group, because if you're not over here, I can't see your questions, so I can't answer them. Now, another thing, I cannot answer all your questions. I'm sorry. Don't be offended. If you've put a question in, I'm not ignoring you. If you've watched me before, you know I go into a different mental space. I'm over here somewhere, and I'm channeling whatever's coming through for me. So you might ask a question, and I'm not going to see it. So you can ask it again, and that's part of the reason why we had 750 comments a couple of weeks ago. But that's okay. I will sort through it. We'll figure it out. So I don't remember things I've said to you in the past. So if I say something to you, last week, and then this week I tell you something different, that's okay. It's all good. Same thing with past life readings. If I do a past life reading for you and and maybe I talked to you before, I don't remember, and I said this and I might tell you something else differently this time, that's fine too. It's all good. Okay. Some of the questions people have asked have been very absolute questions. And, for example, somebody asked, how many past lives can we have? Okay, that's a human perspective on this, and it's very absolute. But the spirit world, heaven, the universe does not work in absolutes. So much of what we believe to be true was told to us by humans, right? Trying to make sense of the spiritual, which is logical because that's what we're trying to do right now, trying to make sense of the spiritual. We have to use words. So some examples. I remember someone telling me years ago that it takes 3 days for a soul to cross over to spirit. And I don't know if that's true or not, but along with that came the message that if someone died, they cannot come in for a reading. They have to wait a certain amount of time. I did not know if that was true or not until I did a reading, and during the reading, a spirit came through, and it turned out they died basically at the beginning of the reading, and my person in front of me did not know they were gone yet. Okay, I've had other times where somebody died the day before. So I don't believe that based on my experiences, and these are my experiences. So you take it if it feels right to you. I remember somebody saying once that if somebody committed suicide, they went to hell. And I thought, that can't be right. How could that be right? How could a God that is benevolent, that radiant energy, that universal divine energy, why would a God say, oh, sorry, you did that, now you're going to hell and I'm not talking to you? Wouldn't a God of love be of love? So it didn't make sense to me. And as I've talked to clients many times over the years where somebody has committed suicide, and they're always on the other side, and they're always feeling love. So if that's a belief system that was taught to you, let that one go. I know 100% that is not true. A suicide is not going to hell. It's just no way. It's not happening. So as we talk and I answer some of your questions and stuff tonight, what I really want you to do is see what feels right to you. Okay, I give you my opinions, my thoughts. I channel through whoever tells me. I channel the information through. If it feels right to you, you'll know. There'll be a certain feeling in your body and you'll think, you know what, I think that's true. Now, this might mean you have to change some of the things in your physical life, right? You might have to change some stuff because you'll go, wait, I can't do this anymore because it's not right for me anymore. So these things that come through could be my ideas, could be spirit's ideas, could be a guide's ideas, whoever's ideas. But whatever, I know what feels right to me. So whatever feels right to you. So again, you need to be on my page in order to get a reading, etc. So I'm going to go and hold on. I just saw something flash by me. Okay, good. I just had to check something before I go because I do want to talk to Arlene because I know Arlene asked this question last week and maybe the week before. So I'm trying to get some of you guys who, for some reason, I've ignored. So Arlene, for those of you who don't know, bought this property with her husband. It's just this most amazing property. And so her question was asking, more about that. What does it all mean? Where's it going to go? I do happen to know that she is using it as kind of like a retreat center. Kind of place. And here's the thing, Arlene, when I touch into that energy and I feel this energy, oh, this is interesting. I did not think I was going to say this. I want to go back to past lives. I did not think I was going to do that with you. I want to go back to past lives. And what I'm seeing with you and your husband together in a previous lifetime, I see you guys there and it feels like that space. And I'd like to know, because I don't know if we've ever talked about this, when you found that place, did it feel really familiar? Did it feel like you just knew it? You were always there? That's what it feels like to me because it feels like you were in this space before. And I am actually getting goosebumps on that, which does not happen much. So when it does, I know it's important. And so there's this feeling that you have been in this space before. And I get the manor feel, which is what her house looks like, everybody. It's amazing. You should see this. The manor feel is definitely there. In this past life, what I see is that you had money then, okay? And then it seems that something happens and you lose your money, basically, okay? You don't have the money anymore. I do feel like I'm way back, like I want to say like Civil War era, that kind of timeline. And as I see this, I see you losing money. And you guys loved that land so much, it was very heartbreaking for you. And I do understand that you had to leave the property. I don't know if it was because you just literally ran out of money or if someone came and took it. I'm not sure on that one. So I can see you having to leave the property, and I can see you guys both promising to each other that you are going to get your property back. And so it has taken some time, apparently, to get back to this space. And I have to tell you too, if you do not know this, that, okay, maybe I shouldn't say this. Oh, I'll say it anyway. Why not? Do you have a cemetery on that property? Because there's like bodies buried there somewhere. So anyway, you might want to check that out if you don't know that you have a cemetery. I'm hoping you actually have a cemetery, because that's better than just random bodies buried there. So anyway, I know there's other buried there. So part of your reason of having the property back is because you made this promise to each other many years ago that you were going to get your property back. In that lifetime, you thought it'd be that lifetime. And with this, because of who you guys are and your desire, your longing to help other people, you always wanted to help. Even back then, you wanted to help. And in this lifetime, it's kind of like, how can I put this? I go like this sometimes. And what this means to me is like, we're working, and then boom, everything just falls into place and it becomes much bigger than we can imagine. And that is the feeling I am getting with this. Okay. So there is a lot here. I know there's a lot of moving pieces for you, and it can be a little bit difficult to narrow stuff down. I'm being told to pick one, do that one. Okay. Just pick one thing, do that one. Then another one, it feels to me, you know, when you're doing a puzzle and it's so easy, you just can see the part and it just goes and you know exactly where it goes. That's what it's going to feel like. So you do this part and then another part pops in and then another part pops in, and it just falls into place perfectly. I know you guys are pretty good about trusting. So that's not an issue. Okay. You're just going to allow it to happen. I do want to prepare you for this though, this big thing, because it's going to be huge. Okay, so Arlene, I hope I got you in before you had to leave. I think I did. Okay, that was fun. I did not expect to go in that direction at all. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I better look here and see. Okay, look at you guys. You're being so nice to each other again. I'm telling you. Okay, Stephanie's asking, this is not a silly question, Stephanie. There are never any silly questions. I was a teacher. Can you tell? When a person seems familiar to me and we have just met, does that necessarily mean we met in a past life? I would say yes. I would say yes. Whether that means we are going to be best friends forever, or whether that means in a past life one of you killed each other, I don't know. But there's a certain familiarity that comes sometimes with that past life thing. So I do want to say that and see. Okay, now, so I just saw, okay, sorry. There's so many things. I keep freezing up on you, on Stephanie. I don't know. Does everybody else think I'm okay? I'm plugged in, so I should be okay. Rhonda, for some reason I'm going to you, Rhonda. I would love a mini reading. Okay. Okay, for you, what I want to do, and so everybody, if you're just joining in, I'm Colleen Vanderzijden. I'm an intuitive life coach. I'm a medium. And what I'm doing tonight are mini readings and answering questions. So mini readings for soul, aura, or past life. And I'm answering pretty much any questions you want to ask. And if we run out of you don't have enough questions, I got 2 pages of questions you've asked in the past. So Rhonda, what I want to do with you, because it feels right to me, is give you a soul reading. Because when I touch into your soul, I see this... how can I describe this so it makes sense in English? I see this beautiful, I want to call it porcelain. I don't usually describe a soul this way, but I want to call it porcelain, because what I see is the beauty of who you are, and I also see the fragility of who you are. Fragility is not a bad thing, okay? Sometimes people think, oh, she's so fragile. That's not what I'm saying. There is a gentleness with you, a delicateness with you, which I know you would disagree with me on that, but there is. And at the soul level, you are a very gentle person. You are a person who does want to be there for other people. You do appreciate beauty, and I mean beauty in things around us, and also just beautiful acting people as well. Interesting. Usually when I'm talking and something happens with my voice, that means something, so hold on. Rhonda, since that happened, I want to ask you, and I don't know if I'll see your comments because there's so many comments, but I'll try to remember it when I get to it. If you have a problem speaking your truth, if you have a problem standing up for yourself, and if it's not you, it's someone close to you, because I'm wondering about this, how this is feeling to me. My body picks up on other people's energies, and I feel them in my body. And because I'm talking about you in this way, and the beauty, the porcelain, the fragility, the delicateness that is in there. And I'm feeling like you've had to hide that to protect yourself. And your soul is one that does want to make a difference here. The only things you need to do to make that difference is to be you. Look for the joy, look for the beauty, look for the fun. Don't let other people stop you from being you. Don't let other people stop you from expressing yourself. This does not mean we express ourselves to just anyone, okay? If you have a deep dream, you don't just tell it to anybody, because if you tell it to somebody who is a jerk, then they're going to shoot you down, and then you're going to feel badly. So if you have a dream, a goal, a vulnerability, don't share with people who don't love you or don't like you or aren't going to support you, okay? And that's a logic thing. So when I say don't let somebody block you from speaking your truth, be discerning how you're going to do that, okay? You can always speak your truth and be kind and caring. There's something about the gentleness with you. There's something about the gentleness with you and that fragility that makes me want to hug you, actually. It makes me want to hug you and just kind of go, everything is great. You're wonderful. That's what it gives me. Your soul is a very beautiful soul, Rhonda. Okay. Let's see what else. Ron, let's talk to Ron. Can you tell me the color of my aura? Now, when I talk about colors of the aura, there are different layers of the aura. I just sense whatever is most prominent to me, okay? And then I usually do a reading on that. And Ron, I love when I get mixes in colors here. I am seeing the green color, which is the color of healing, and green is also the color of the heart chakra. Okay, in your case, I tilt more toward the healing. Okay, this doesn't mean you're sick or anything like that. It means that you're evolving, you're growing, you're learning. It means you're probably letting go of some things that was blocking you before. So I see a lot of green, but I'm also seeing around the edges of this. It's a beautiful green, by the way. It's not deep dark green. It's like a blue green, that kind of thing. Okay. Anyway, around the edges, I'm also seeing like this magenta color. Magenta to me is a mix of the pink and the purple. Pink is the heart. Purple is the spiritual. That goes together. I see this beautiful mix around there. There is that sense of calling with you where I know you are enjoying learning about spiritual things. And I know that mentally as well as channelingly. And with this beautiful color, you are finding more people that can understand you, but you've also had some times where you've had to let go of some people and just kind of go, sorry, no. And you've learned a lot with this, but you're becoming more and more secure with that. So it's really working for you. You are very much you're going to make a difference in people's lives, like other men's lives. You're going to make a difference in their lives because you're going to help them see that they can live in a different way. And it's not that you're going to start something necessarily. It's more by your individual interactions with people. Now, it's fun. Thank you, Ron. That was fun. It's fun when I do the, different kinds of readings to see what comes out of my mouth, because I never know what I'm going to say till I've said it. And I mentioned this last week, and I'll mention it again in case you're new to something like this. Lots of times when I do a reading with somebody or I'm answering questions or something, the information I say can apply to more than just that one person. It could apply to a whole bunch of people at once, 4 or 5, 6 people at once. And that is the way spirit, the universal energy, works so that people can get a message and it makes sense to them. So if it makes sense to you, take it. Okay? If it inspires you, take it. If it doesn't make sense to you, don't take it. So if it feels right, that's what we want. Okay, now, so as you're asking for readings, feel free to ask questions as well. Again, you must be on my page, Colleen Van Der Zijden, Medium and Intuitive Life Coach. So that I can see the comments. I was reading while I was talking to you. Don't mind my spacing out. Darlene says, I am drawn to the colors green and blue. Is that the color of my aura? Couple interesting things popped in with that, Darlene. One is, yes, you definitely have those colors within your aura. Also, I love studying colors and how colors affect us. We can use colors to bring in certain energies. So green and blue. Green is the heart, blue is the throat chakra, our communication area there. So if we like those colors, it could be, not necessarily has to be, but it could be that those colors we're choosing at some kind of intuitive level to help us with healing or the heart or communication. They make us, in quotes, feel better or feel differently. Okay, so we can actually use those colors to feel better. Now, somebody did ask last week if the colors could change, and they do change. They change based on our circumstances, what's happening in our lives, the health of our bodies, etc. So how our energy is doing is how our colors change. So though I might say to you one day, you're pink today, next week I might go, okay, you're gray today. And just depending on what's happening in your life. I do believe, this is my belief, I have no proof of this whatsoever, that our colors, we may have a prominent color, for a lot of our lives, that this is just the color that goes with us for whatever reason. And then we might have some different, because there are different layers, so different colors may come in, but we can use those colors. So when I give somebody aura colors, we want to make sure that we're just open and seeing how we feel about it, right? If it feels right to us, it's all good. Okay. I think I covered that one and on as I usually do. Isn't it great when things make sense, Katie? I love it. Okay, I like this one. Charity Keith. Is my soul going in the right direction educationally? And for those of you guys who watch me a lot, you know what I'm about to say right now. Every single thing that is happening in your life is there to help your soul evolve, is there to help you become your soul's truth. Okay, every single thing. That's my philosophy. I live by that, actually. So if something goes wrong in my life, I'm like, how is this helping me? What can I learn from this that is going to help me become a better person? Okay, so everything that happens in your life is going to lead you to where you should, I'll put that in quotes, be at the soul level. Okay, now we do not have to just sit around and wait for things to happen. We have individual power. We are meant to reconnect with our soul. We are meant to live as our soul's truth, to express our soul into this world. Okay, that's what we are meant to do. If you are interested in something like that, or that makes sense to you, you have the power of choice, and you can do whatever you want to bring you a greater understanding of who you are at the soul level. You can find out ways to learn more about this. And I tell people lots of times to follow their interests. When we are learning spiritually, we first wake up spiritually. When I first woke up spiritually a million years ago, it seems now, I was very interested in crystals. Crystals are fun. I call them the fun toys that we get to play with. So those were fun. It was fun for me to play with them and experiment with them. I also liked the Bach flower essences, and we could talk about that sometime. I liked those a lot too, because I had a lot to let go of. Okay, I was very much a people-pleasing, control freak, perfectionist, etc., stressed out, etc. person. I had a lot to change in my life to live as who I was meant to live from my perspective. Okay, so when we start out, if something interests you, follow it. Okay, if you're interested in angels and spirit guides, we're going to be talking about that in the soul empowerment community. Okay, if you're interested in past life regressions, we're going to be talking about that too. If you're interested in connecting with the light of your soul and finding out who you are at the soul level, we're going to be talking about that in the Embrace the Light and in the soul empowerment community. So many things in so many places. So follow your whims. You can actually accelerate your growth if you take action moving in that direction, if that's your desire. There's a lot of people in this world who have no desire to learn anything about their soul. They have no desire to grow spiritually whatsoever. That's their path. It's not ours. But if your path is that, there are ways to do this. Okay, let's see what else we got. And Cindy West, soul purpose. That got my interest. It's funny, when I'm at the stump and I'm going to give messages at the inspiration stump, the mediumship thing, it's like all of a sudden I just, boom, I'm just there. So Cindy West, I want to talk about your soul purpose. This is an interesting field for you, because I get this feeling of you being the kind of person who gets things done. Okay, you're not a lazy person. I know you're you like to do things, and I would expect as well that you might be a bit of an overthinker and kind of get too many plans going in your head. But I do understand that you have diffused that a bit, and it's diminished. And with your soul purpose, I get such a sense with you of guiding. I want you, and I'm speaking from a guide or somebody who's talking to me, okay? This is not me saying I want, it's this. I want you to be there guiding other people. What I am seeing is, and this is an example, if it actually applies, cool. If it doesn't, it's just an example. But what I'm seeing is you being there for other people and kind of helping them navigate. I want, you know how sometimes we have kids who are in the legal system or the foster care system or those things where they need someone to guide them through the maze of legal or the maze of society stuff. I'm seeing something like this where you are guiding people and being there for them. This could be in the form of like a big brother, big sister kind of program. This could be a legit volunteer or job even where you're helping people get through something. Now, this doesn't mean you have to do this, okay? This is what it feels like to me. And there is this sense of, because you think so well and you can figure things out, that in some ways it's like you're lending your strength to other people and guiding them so they know which way to go. Okay, very, very cool here. This sense of you being a guide for others, if that rings true for you, will lead you to the whatever it is you're going to guide them with. I think that sentence made sense. So let's see on that. It's very interesting because I really feel it's like you protecting people in a way to me. Protecting and guiding. There's something with this. Very interesting. That's kind of fun. Okay, let's see what else we got here. You're so sweet, Ashley. I feel and believe so many of the same things. I am finding so many people that go, yeah, that makes sense to me. Isn't it great when that happens? You know, I love that. And that's, again, why we're starting a community, so we can all find each other and hang out together. Okay, let's talk to Randy. Randy says, when you start to wake up, can you feel an array of extreme emotions? Absolutely. Absolutely. Waking up, you know, it's wild. When we wake up spiritually and we recognize there's something more to life, we're so excited. It's like, oh, this is so much fun. Or maybe they have this most awesome meditation where we feel so connected, and then life comes in again. And it can be, an awakening can be scary because that means we have to, in quotes, reevaluate our lives. Is this how we want to be living? And so many of us have that inner critic that says, oh, look at you, you were stupid. Why did you do that? And so we can look back on our lives, and sometimes instead of learning from our experiences, we beat ourselves up. So then we go through all the emotions. Okay, how can I not do this? You know, how can I love myself and honor my growth instead of calling myself stupid, or I can't believe you did this, and beating ourselves up that way? So part of an awakening is being able to face the fears of who we really are, because we always think we're horrible people. What if we find out that's true? You know, that's a scary thing. A lot of people really don't want to discover who they are because it's scary, you know, or they have to face emotions and they don't want to, because emotions can also be scary. What if I get so upset I cry forever? Or what if I get upset and people don't like me? Or what if I'm so angry and I can't control myself? Or whatever it might be. But the more aware we become of how we're feeling, the easier it becomes to find out why we're feeling the way we're feeling and find the root cause of that, like what really is causing this, so that we can understand ourselves better. And so, yeah, we can be all over the place emotionally. We can be scared. We can be, one minute we can be scared. The next minute we can be so happy. This is so exciting. The next minute we're going to be like, you know what? This is too much work. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm done. I'm just not going to do it. It's not worth it anymore. Or as we're waking up, sometimes we have changes in the people around us. Some of the people can't handle the new me, so they don't want to be talking to me anymore. And that can be sad if we lose people that just don't get us anymore and we don't feel safe, or they attack us because they don't agree with how we are. When we change, people want things to stay the same. And so if we change, then they get upset with us because we're not meeting their expectations of who we are. So there's a lot that goes on as we awaken. And this is partially why it's important to have other people around you who maybe have been there and can give you some guidance, or at the very least, support. So go, it's okay. You're going to be fine. And I can tell y'all, I wasn't always like how I am now. Okay. Like I said, I was a very stressed out person, very much a control freak. I only had two emotions, stressed and fake happiness. So I worked a long time on myself. And so part of the reason I wrote my book was because that's a shortcut. Everything I learned is right in that book. Well, not everything. A lot of things I learned are in that book. So people can have a little bit of a shortcut and they don't have to go through as much crap as I did. So yes, lots and lots of emotions. Okay, let's see what else we have. Tracy, how can I connect with my guides? We're actually going to talk about that in the Embrace the Light Within class. I can't remember what day it is, but we're going to do that. It's about the light. And we're going to do a little meditation there that will help you connect in with the guides. And then we will be doing an actual guide and angels workshop pretty quickly. Okay, let me see what else we got here. And if you're just joining in again, I'm Colleen Vanderzijn, a medium at Lilydale. Also, and okay, fear is holding her back. Yes. Okay. Hold on. I got distracted again. You guys are so good just watching me, like space out there for a second. Deb says, since my husband died, I'm finding a lot of healing classes, emails, and thoughts are showing up. Okay. And it left on me really quickly. But yes, when something happens, have you noticed the synchronicities, everybody? And Deb is noticing in this, right? Something happens in your life, and then all of a sudden you'll find the synchronicities. Healing classes are showing up to help her change her energy. And her husband just passed just a few short months ago. So we know he's definitely around her and is definitely watching over her, as we say sometimes. And so these things will start to show up because you're always being guided. And our spirits, our loved ones on the other side, can also come in to guide us as well. Okay, and here we go. I'm checking. Okay, somebody blocked Babalawo Reader. We got another one of those on here. Okay, Cheryl, I like this one. I would love to know how my husband feels about my new beginning after his transition. I hope he's happy with where my soul journey has led me so far. Okay, right away, Cheryl, I have to tell you, I feel such a huge amount of love for you. I know that your husband was always really good about being there for you. I know he always supported you with so much in your life. And he says sometimes he would drive you crazy. You'll have to let me know if that's true. He says sometimes he would drive you a little bit crazy, but it wasn't like a bad thing. It was kind of a joke kind of thing here. And he says he's really proud of what you have done in terms of how you have moved forward. You're the kind of person that, and this is me talking now, not him, okay? You're the kind of person that this kind of cracked you open, but you went with it rather than hiding and staying stuck. You're like, okay, I'm going to see where this leads me. I'm going to start to follow my soul's path. I'm going to start to feel what's right for me even more than you did before. And you really moved in that direction. There's such a beautiful sense of pride coming in for you. He says you talk to him quite a bit. And I also want to ask you, all of a sudden I got a smell, and I want to know if you have a piece of, clothing or something in particular particular that reminds you of how he smells, because all of a sudden I was getting a smell, and sometimes they'll show me that, and he just laughs. He thinks it's funny, and that I'm talking about that. But anyway, I will just leave that with you. I don't know if I've answered whatever question you asked, but there we are. So it's so funny. I talk and I don't even know what I'm doing. It's so much fun. I'm just skimming through, and there's so many comments below where I'm even looking, you guys. So I'll go faster. How about that? Let me see what I can talk about while I'm doing this. And yeah, the workshop's going to be awesome. Oh my God, I want to take my own workshop. Oh wait, what was that? Okay, this is a good one. Katie says, as a person who has never felt a pull toward a specific life path, how do I know how I should proceed in life? Isn't that interesting, everybody? Because we have been brought up to believe that we should know where to go. You know, we should know that this is our path. And if you haven't had a pull toward a specific life path, I would have so many questions for you if you were right in front of me right now, just to see. But in this case, what you do is you follow the interest, like I talked about a little bit earlier for something else. Follow the interest and follow the fun. What brings you joy, and do these things. We as humans want to know. We want to know where to go, what to do, right? That's what we do. We want to know this stuff. But part of the consciousness shift we're all experiencing right now is to learn to be flexible and go with the flow and trust that whatever is supposed to come to us is going to come to us. Now, this doesn't mean we just sit in our houses and do nothing. We have to get out there and do things. So if you have an interest in, let's say you have an interest in reading books and you want to be in a book club. You think, oh, I like being in a book club. I want to do that. So you go to the book club. Now, what happens is when you take action, no matter what kind of action, it leads to more actions. So you go to a book club, you make some new friends. The new friends, maybe there's a person in there you really connect with and you're hanging out with them. And then the next thing you know, they're going, hey, you want to go do this? And you go do that. So every action you take has another action that follows. So all we have to do is take a step, and then the next steps will appear. This is very hard to do for somebody like how I used to be. I was a control freak. I want my whole steps all laid out. Okay, just one after another. Don't tell me I got to wait and see what happens, because I get impatient, and that makes it harder. But if you trust that the next steps are going to appear and you take it and you follow your interests, I actually call it following my whims. So if I have things to do around the house, I just want to go with whatever feels right to me. So the whims to me are feeling it. So you go wherever you go. And what we're doing is we're letting go of the attachment that we have to know where we're going. We don't have to know where we're going to get where we need to go. We still take steps toward whatever. We may have a dream, we may have a goal. We still take those steps. We're not just sitting around doing nothing. But we follow the joy, we follow the interests, we follow the fun. Okay, I'm not telling you to go become a party girl, but you have fun. Maybe you really like talking to people, and that's a connection thing for you. So, if you love connecting with people, there's different ways you can do that, okay? Okay, I hope that helped a little bit there. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, oh, wait. Okay. Oh, dear. I missed something really interesting. I see. I'll read it tomorrow. Okay. Jan, past lives. Jan, skags, nooks. Okay. Okay, Jan. I immediately saw you wearing I'm going to call it scraggly clothes. It's not a good description, but it works for me in where my space is right now in my head. I see you wearing scraggly clothes. I see you not having much money. I feel like I'm living in a time like I want the plains around me. Okay, sometimes I call it cowboy time. I don't know when that is, but that's what it feels like. The plains around me. So I know I'm in a space where there's a lot of property around me. I feel very resourceful with you. I feel very resilient. I feel that you are a woman. Okay, I do feel you're a woman, I feel that you have to take care of yourself. I feel like your husband passed earlier. You were married. Your husband passed earlier. This is a very hard life. A very hard life. The weather is not good. You get the cold weather, and it just seems like you have to work very hard at this. Now, here's a little bit of an interesting twist on that, because even though you have all that, there's resilience, you keep going. There is also a very much, I see you reading the Bible every night. Every morning, every night, reading the Bible. You have a very strong faith in God, and you do your best to honor that God. There is not there's a church nearby, but it's too far. You can't go. It's just too hard to get there. And you've got to work the land, if you will, making sure you have food and animals and things like this. And I see you with a gun too, a rifle, by the way. I see you with a rifle, so I know you were hunting your own food and stuff too. But it was very important to you to do the best you could to honor God. And some of that has come into this lifetime as well, not in the same format, but has come into this lifetime about honoring the divine within yourself and within other people. Very important. Okay, I will leave you that, Jan and Catherine. Yes. Let's see. I love it. Dawn says, my daughter took one class in Chinese language and ended up studying in China her senior year. That was never her intention, but she took that first step. Yeah. Okay, good. Katie, I'm glad that you're doing it correctly. Sometimes we just need a little reassurance, right? That, we're not totally lost. It's nice for somebody to go, yeah, this is all it is. It's okay. And you do it. Follow the fun. It's my favorite one, right? Okay. Let's see what else I got. Thank you for the stars, Ashley. For those of you who don't know, you can actually purchase stars on Facebook and give them to people who do lives and videos and stuff like that. And kind of as a thank you for helping. Okay, the answer... Katie says, what's amusing is back in my party days, the answer to what do you want to do in your life was have fun. Do you know that's actually one of my, if you'll call it a signature phrases, have fun. My ex-husband from years ago hated it because I would say it in the worst times possible. That is so funny. I love that. Katie, you're so funny. I'm at a crossroads. Oh, sorry, I'm still scrolling. Okay, I'm just waiting for somebody to stop me, and I mean spirit in that way. Okay. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I'm waiting for spirit to stop me. Okay, there we are. Actually, nope, not going to do it, that one. So I can only forward hearts and likes right now. Yeah, no worries. Don't worry. I'm not telling you have to do these things, these stars and stuff. They literally are a penny a star, you guys. It's really funny if you ask me. Somebody asked me, and I do want to talk about this because I know many of you will relate to this. I can feel the energy, and I know you'll relate to this. Somebody said last week that so many toxic people, we're attracted to them, and she gets screwed over so much because she always gives them second chances and stuff, even though she knows in her heart they're no good. Okay, have you guys had that experience with toxic people? And what I'm finding, if you're an empath, of course you are going to attract the toxic people, the narcissists, the difficult ones. It's a law. I'm pretty sure that's a law. It doesn't have to be a law, but it seems to be a law. And what happens is people who are sensitive, and most of my audience is, if not all, because we all tend to be on the kind side and the accepting side. Sometimes people come to us who are, I'm going to say, in need of healing. They're toxic, they're difficult. And at some level of our soul, because we're helpful people, we want to help. But here's where we have to be aware of our own selves. Okay, we must never sacrifice ourselves for someone else without intention. Okay, and even then, I don't like that idea. Even if, something really horrible is happening, you don't want to sacrifice yourself or your energy. Okay, you still have to protect your energy, even if you really do have to help somebody else. But when we have these narcissistic, toxic people around us, we have to become so aware of what is right for us And the only way we can become aware of that is if we're checking in with ourselves to see what feels right. So many of us just live reacting from one problem to the next, one situation to the next. We're thinking ahead. We're always planning. We don't spend time. Many of us don't spend time checking in with ourselves to see what our truth is, to see what feels right, to see what we should do, to see what our response is to toxic people. Because if we know, as this person said, that that person is toxic and she lets them in and then she gets screwed every time, if we know this, then why do we allow it to happen? We allow it to happen because we're not paying attention to ourselves. We're not listening to our soul. We're not listening to our gut, which is saying, don't do this. Okay. Because then some of us have the problem of, oh, but if I don't do this with them, or I don't say this to them, they're not going to like me. And we have that people pleasing part. We want to keep them happy, and it can be hard to say, nope, sorry, can't do that. Sorry. But the more you understand yourself, the stronger you become, and the easier it becomes to check in with yourself and protect your energy from those toxic people. And I'm quite sure we're going to do a workshop on narcissists and toxic people and empaths and all of that. I'm sure we are going to do this. Okay, Claire, did I talk to you yet? I just saw mini reading. Please, please, please. I like 3 pleases. It got my attention apparently. Okay, so Claire. Ooh, this is fun. I'm going to do a past life with you. This will be fun. I did this something similar to somebody 2 or 3 weeks ago when Greg was on the show with me. At that point, I vaguely remember, I don't remember much, somebody who worked like in a saloon or something. Okay, so Claire, what I'm seeing with you is I am seeing a dancer. Okay, I'm going in a past life for you. I'm seeing a dancer. I see the risque, burlesque kind of dancing. And I'm seeing a short little outfit that was definitely risque during that time. And you just wanted to dance. You were not dancing because of the sexual nature of that kind of form of dance. You just wanted to dance. And somebody took you under the wing and said, here, we'll help you learn these dance steps or whatever. And you were going to go to the big city to become a dancer. That was your plan. You were going to do that. And you actually ended up enjoying the power you got from this form of dancing. I'll call it the burlesque dancing. You enjoyed the power you got from that. So you stayed there a little bit too long, but you eventually did get to go to the big city, wherever the big city was, so that you could be a dancer. And you, as they say, pounded the pavement, right? So you went around and you ran around, and eventually you ended up getting a job, a dancing job, and I can't tell if it's a musical or a show, something like this, where there seems to be a story involved in it, not just a bunch of dancing numbers, but there's a story there. So it reminds me of a musical, I guess what I would call it. You very much enjoyed that. And you did not have regrets about your life because you enjoyed so much of what you were doing. And I don't feel as though you had children, and I know that was a dream, but not as strong as the dancing one. The dancing was very much an expression of you and just really brought you joy. There was a slight regret that you didn't end up having children, but you did have a partner with you and closer to the end of your lifetime. That was a very special partner for you. And he very much took care of you. And it was love. It was not that, he was a, what do they call it? Sugar daddy. It wasn't that kind of thing. It truly was love between the two of you. And so you had a good life in that time. And for you, it was all about the fun and expressing yourself. And you brought some of that into this lifetime as well, the fun and expressing yourself. And it'd be interesting to know if you were a dancer in this lifetime. Ah, yes. How fun is that? Okay. I saw it. Where did it go? Okay, Dana says, very sensitive, almost mentally draining. When we are sensitive, as so many of us are, it can be a bit of a challenge to protect our energy. Somebody did ask me, how do we protect our energy? What does that mean, right? What does it mean to protect your energy? Okay, so let's think about, you go in a room and, there's so much activity going on and you just feel a little discombobulated and stuff. Okay, that's the energy. You're feeling the energy. Or you have somebody standing behind you. You don't see them, but you can feel them. That's the energy. So your energy is within your body and outside of your body. And it goes out a bit of space too. So the closer energy is where it's stronger for us, about here. Okay, so that's where we really feel that energy. So if you know you're going to go into a situation where somebody is draining or toxic or difficult, or you think to yourself, oh, if I have to talk to that person one more time, I don't even know. What you can do is set an intention. You're being intentional, setting intention about your energy field. And it can be something as simple as, I set my energy field so that anyone who is difficult or narcissistic or whatever word you want to use does not affect me today. My energy is clear and I'm protected. However you want to describe it. I usually do my intentions with positive words. I would probably not say does not affect me. I'd probably say I am protected from any energies that are not beneficial to me. Something like that. So whatever feels right to you. Again, we're back to the feeling. What that does is it sets in motion that you've decided you're going to protect the energy. You've let the universe know you're going to protect your energy. So the universe is now going to help you. You've verbalized what it is you want, how you're going to protect your energy. Okay, now that can really help. The other thing is to remember you have the power of choice. If somebody's a real jerk and every time you see them, you're so drained you can't stand it, can you limit the time you spend with them? So we do have practical things we can do as well. Don't spend so much time with them. If you can get away with no time with them, even better. A little harder for family or coworkers. But if you prepare yourself ahead of time, and also remember toxic people, difficult people, challenging people, we cannot change them. Don't wish they acted differently. You're just wasting your energy wishing they were different. So don't do that. So you go there the way they are. I don't have to deal with them. I'm going to protect my energy any way I can. Okay? Yes. Okay, so I will leave that there. What time is it? Oh, look how much I've talked today, you guys. Oh, my goodness me. I have talked and talked and talked. Oh, I was reading that. And it was Greg's comment. I'm like, weird. Okay, let's see. You are very welcome, Claire. Yes, I will answer this question, Mary, because I know you are the queen of questions, which I love. She wants to know if I think more people are becoming more sensitive in these days of worldwide chaos. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I have talked in the past, and some of you may be new to me and not know me, but we are living in right now what I am calling the consciousness shift. We are transitioning from a very physical life into a more spiritually evolved life. This is what's happening all around us. And this is why everything's falling apart, because the darkness has to come to light. We have to release some of these things that have been happening in the culture and society throughout the world. We've got to release those things and get into the love and light vibration. So what's happening is this energy around us is so intense right now that even if your life is going great, you might still be feeling a little bit off, a little unbalanced, a little on edge, a little anxious. And there's been so much happening that the rates of anxiety and depression, etc., have skyrocketed. Again, part of the reason why we're doing our free Embrace the Light class starting Sunday and our soul empowerment community. So all of us, what happens? Same thing when I am here talking to you guys on this show. I feel your energy, you feel my energy, we're connecting. When we connect, our energies get stronger. Okay, do you hear that? Our energies get stronger. Our power gets stronger. It becomes easier to live in our truth. It becomes easier to handle the chaos. It becomes easier to find the people. It becomes easier. Okay, we still have issues. We'll still have challenges because life has challenges. We'll still have them. But in this connection, it's so much easier to handle it. If we know we have people who get us and understand us and are there for us, we feel safe. And when we feel safe, we express our emotions and we're vulnerable and we speak our truth because we know we're not being judged. Okay? This helps us handle this. Our sensitivities are absolutely increasing, which can be a good thing because now we're picking up on energy. People are seeing spirits. People are doing healing work and all this stuff. It all goes together. All of this goes together. Okay. So let's see. I know this hour does fly by. I cannot believe I've been talking that long. I talk a lot, don't I? My husband will agree. So there you are. Okay, so I do want to, okay, again, if you don't know who I am, Colleen Vanderzijden, I do want to remind you, if you're interested in the Embrace the Light Within free workshop that we're doing 3 nights, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday nights, 7:30 to 9 Eastern Time, in a private Facebook group, find one of these links in here in the comments, click on it. If it doesn't work and you can't register, then just message me and I'll get you in the group. Just make sure you give me your email and I can put you in. So no problem there. Okay. If you are already in the group, you've already registered, make sure you join the Facebook community. We have like 90 something people have not joined yet. And I'm like, you guys, if you wait till the last minute, we're going to be too busy on Sunday to go over there and go, oh, I got to put them in and everything. So do it ASAP. Besides, the party's already started over there and we're having so much fun. And then for the soul empowerment community, it's a different thing. Okay, you have to register for both. You want to do both, you got to register for both. Okay, but the free one, the soul empowerment, there is going to be a fee, but it's very affordable, believe me, and you're going to get so much out of it. You know, workshops all over the place, experiences, past life regressions, readings. You're going to get deep dives in intensives and programs, and in person, 2 in-person things a year. Let us know where you want us to go. We're thinking Florida for one of them because it's warm there. So anyway, we'll be doing those things too. So, and if you're not on my mailing list from some reason and you want to get on there and get notified when that opens, just send me a message with your email and I'll just put you in. It's easy peasy, easy peasy. I just love talking to you guys. Okay. Okay, I'm just looking. Okay, I'm just checking to see if anything else grabs me here. Yeah, right. Belle, I always had a feeling I was going to die young, and I feel like I passed that on. Do you mean you passed that feeling on to somebody else in your life? And that could also be a leftover feeling from a past life where you did die young. Okay, so it could be a leftover feeling, not necessarily applicable to this lifetime. Okay, anyway. Weirdos. Did somebody say weirdos? I know, right? It's where we all get to have fun. I know. Okay, I probably could stop talking. Okay, yeah, that's good. Thank you, Laura, for reminding me of this. Can you watch the free class on Sunday when it's done on replay? I work from 2 to 10. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Laura, for reminding me of this. Because our free class is offered in a Facebook group, the videos will stay in the Facebook group. So you have a few days to watch them. So if you are working and you can't be there Sunday night, you could watch it Monday morning or whenever you want to watch it. The only thing is you definitely don't want to wait too long to watch the videos because we are going to shut the group down after a little bit of time. Okay, so but you can watch them to your heart's content. The Facebook group is called Embrace the Light Within, but you need to register for the workshop first before I will let you into the group. Okay. Okay, I still have so many comments below here. I wish I had more time. And this is something I'm going to do in the soul empowerment community. I know I do it here, so don't go, oh, she does it there. It's okay. I'm not going to be here forever doing this. Okay. This is just what I've been feeling right for me the past few months doing these kinds of things, and I'm just having fun with it. So I might do other things. Okay. I best stop talking or I'm going to lose my voice actually. So I do want to thank you all for joining me and asking your amazing questions today. And I got to do a few more readings today. Next week I will not be live because we will be in our free class on Tuesday night. And so I will not be live next week doing this, but I will be live the following week. And I'm just going to keep doing this. This format is so much fun. So I'm just going to do more readings. So 2 weeks from today, I will do more readings. I will answer more questions. If you ask questions in there I missed, which are probably so many, I will add them to my handy dandy list here, and we will answer some of those next time. And you can continue asking questions even after I go off the air right now. So you can do that as well. So 2 weeks from tonight, I will be live for the radio show. Next week, I will be live in the Embrace the Light Within private group. So if you're in the group, I can't talk anymore. I'll talk to you there. Okay, yes. Well, Charity, funny you mentioned that. I'm doing a retreat. I'm teaching a retreat in June, in-person retreat in Lilydale, June 2nd through 4th. That information will go up on my website soon. We're just a little busy with the soul empowerment community planning, etc. right now. Okay, so I am going to leave you so that my voice doesn't go away totally and leave me. So you guys have the most wonderful week, and I will see you guys next week in the free class or the following week when we get back together right here in this space. You have a fun time, and I'll see you later. Bye.